Right.
Hi everyone, so this is another cooking video and this time it's going to be a taste of Italy and it's going to be a little bit more of an adventurous recipe and it's going to be spaghetti bolognese, but with a twist. It's going to be a healthy spaghetti bolognese because there is actually a misconception that spaghetti bolognese is really bad for you and that you should avoid it if you're on a diet, but it's really not if you cook it in the right way and the healthy way. So we're going to make some substitutions from the traditional kind of bolognese that you might be used to, and we're going to actually use turkey mince, and instead of just normal pasta we're going to use whole wheat pasta because it's a lot healthier, it's a filling food, and it's just better to use whole grain. So it's really easy to do, it's my own recipe, so you just go with it. It's really scrumptious, and yeah, that's it. So let's get on and do it. So for this recipe you're going to need 1 clove of garlic chopped finely. You're going to need 1 medium onion diced finely. You're going to need 1 pack like this of turkey mince, or this is 450 grams. You're going to need tomato puree, a tin of chopped tomatoes. You're going to need some whole wheat spaghetti, and for one person it's 60 grams of a serving size, which looks like this amount. That's the serving size, 60 grams, and that's 3 points worth of pasta. So 60 grams is equal to 1 serving size of 3 points worth. So if there's 2 of you having it, then double it to 120. You're going to need your low calorie cooking spray. You're going to need some gravy granules. You're going to need some Worcester sauce. I just opted for Lee and Perrins. You're going to need some mixed herbs, some basil, some salt, pepper, and 250 ml of stock. I've just used one of the little stock cubes again, and this is chicken stock. So the first thing you want to do is spray your pan with a low calorie cooking spray and add the turkey mince into the pan. Make sure you remove the little paper thingy at the bottom. You then want to just brown that on a medium heat, stirring it through until it's nicely, so all the meat has turned brown. Just want to mention you need to really use a pan that's got a lid, because we're going to drain this mince off to get rid of most of the excess fat. So if you look in the bottom of the pan, you can see there's a lot of juice there, and that is actual fat that has come out of the meat. So what we're going to do is we're going to drain this off. Just take your pan lid and pop it on so there's a gap. See that there's a little gap. I'm just going to turn the heat off while I do this. You need to very carefully, using a towel because the handles will be hot. Zoom out a bit, Mum, bloody hell. Sorry, my mum's filming this, and we're going to drain that into the sink. Can you see all of that fat that's just dripped out of there? It's disgusting. So before we do anything else, we're going to drain the fat out of the meat. So to this mix now, we've got the turkey all nice and browned. We're going to add in the garlic, and we're going to add in the chopped onion, and we're just going to put that again on a medium to low heat and just stir that around for a couple of minutes. Next, you want to add your tin of chopped tomatoes. Oh, and this is a 400 gram tin. Just stir that in. You want to add your 250 ml of stock. Stir that in. Make sure you mix it all through, like so. You then want to take your tomato puree, and you want to put in about a tablespoon, like that, of tomato puree. Mix that in. If you don't like the big chunks of tomatoes, just bash them with your spoon. Just like pat them in and just keep mixing that through. You then want to take half a tablespoon of basil in there. You want to take half a tablespoon of mixed herbs in there. Plenty of salt and pepper. Mix all of that in. Doesn't look that nice at the minute, but trust me, it does look yummy when it's done. Mix all of that like that, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients towards the end. We're going to add the chicken granule or gravy granules and the Worcester sauce. We're going to add those in at the end. Now what you want to do is you want to put this on a lower heat and simmer it for around 15 minutes with the lid not fully on, just mostly on, with a little gap at the back. So you just want to put that like that on a low heat for about 15 minutes. While that's cooking, you need to get your pasta, and this is mine and Adam's pasta serving, and we're just going to fill this pan with boiling water. I can't put it on the ring yet though because there's no water in it. So you want to just take that, fill it with boiling water, put it on a high heat and leave that to cook for about 15 minutes. I like it really soft, so that's on a high heat, and just push it down gently so it just all goes down, and then that's it. You just want to leave that to do its own thing. Stirring the, you need to stir this bolognese occasionally so it doesn't stick, and then just leave that, like I say, for 15 minutes. So a couple of minutes before the cooking time is over, you can see that it's reduced down and thickened quite a bit. But for me, it's still a little bit too watery, which is where the gravy granules come in. So what you want to do is you've just got to play this by ear. Just sprinkle a little bit in like that and gently mix it together. And you just need to keep doing this until it's thickened to your liking. I had about 3 little sprinkles of it, so that's mixed in, and then you do it again. You can see how much I'm adding here, can't you? Now this whole pot of bolognese here is about 12 points because there's 10 points in the mince, and there's about, when I've finished, about 2 points in the sauce, because I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese as well. It's optional, that's why I didn't say it at the start, but you can add a little bit of cheese. So if you were to serve this between 3 people, this bolognese mix here would have 4 points per serving. If you were to serve it between 4 people, it would have 3 points per serving, and then obviously your 3 points in your pasta. So can you see that this sauce is really starting to thicken up a bit? So I'm just going to add another little sprinkle, because a serving of this gravy granules is only half a point, so when it's distributed throughout the entire mixture, it's really not a lot. So that has thickened up lovely there. You can see how nice and thick that's gone. Then for the secret ingredient, you're going to take your Lee & Perrins Worcester sauce and put a good helping of this in. See how much that's in there? And mix that. Oh yeah. That smells so good, and you can see how nice and thick that's gone. Yeah, compared to before the gravy granules. That's a little tip there for you. Last but not least, like I said, this is optional. I'm just going to get a little bit of cheese and sprinkle that in there. Don't go mad with the cheese because it does add, you know, quite a bit of points. So just put a little sprinkling in. Mix that through and then leave it for the rest of the, oh, there you go. Time has gone off. Just leave that for a minute just to completely melt. How good does that look? Absolutely delicious. It smells gorgeous as well. So you want to turn the heat off on both of the pans, and you want to drain the pasta. Use a tea towel because the handle will be hot. Drain the pasta, give it a shake, and then distribute that to the 2 plates with a fork. Then what you want to do is get rid of the wooden spoon and take a ladle, and you just want to, look how nice that looks. Put that onto the plates. like that. And look at that, absolutely gorgeous spaghetti. So there you have it, that's turkey bolognese for 6 points, and it's absolutely delicious. And you can add a tiny little sprinkle of cheese on the top of that if you want.